everybody. Welcome to WagerTalk TV. My name is Minty, and I am joined by Tony Finn at WagerTalk on Twitter, and Ralph Michaels at Cal Sports LV on Twitter. We've got an early look at Super Bowl 54, the San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I am so excited, but also so torn because I feel like people's first instinct is to take the better defense and the points, which I guess would be the 49ers, but I really like Kansas City here. Ralph, have you made a bet yet or anything?
You know, I don't think I've ever been this torn in the Super Bowl either. So, you know, I will say this. Yes, year-to-date, San Francisco has the better defense. But if you break down KC the last 8 weeks, they are greatly improved.
Yes.
So you have to compare apples to apples.
Okay.
When I look at the 2-week break, I normally don't overreact 1 or 2 games, but what I saw from a fresh 49ers team with multiple defensive ends, almost 2 different layers of defensive ends, I think they're going to benefit more than Kansas City with that extra rest and having another 2-week break.
Yeah.
Okay.
You look at experience. Andy Reid, experienced, although Shanahan was the OC for Atlanta, went to the Super Bowl, and we know what happened in the second half. He was calling plays, and Belichick outcoached him, you know, in that game. I look at it, and I think I'm going to be lean Kansas City. To be honest with you, there's a lot of people at WagerTalk that are going to have plays on it. I will not have a play on the game, just because I don't think there's enough value.
Okay.
For me to have a game on a playoff game or a Super Bowl, if that game were being played on week 12, would it be one of my top plays of the week? And by no means, I'm not even sure who I like at this point, so it won't be part of my card. I will have some props. A couple props that I looked at quickly I just want to mention.
Please share.
I'm listening.
I think we sometimes overanalyze.
Yes.
I saw what KC did starting slow at home 2 weeks ago. I saw what KC did starting slow at home. I'm not going to overguess it. I'm going to say team to score first is going to be San Francisco. There's also a prop. What will happen first? A Chiefs punt or a Chiefs score? Punt is even money. Scores minus 120. If we stop them one time, we being San Francisco, boom, you're winning that prop. Number of sacks under 4.5. You're actually plus 115. Again, another positive EV. When you're betting props, do remember Vegas sets the number to the over. It's clearly slanted to the over. Public is going to bet over. Sharps are going to bet under, and sharps aren't afraid to lay juice. But when you find an under prop with positive EV, I think that, you know, that's a great play. And then another one I'll just throw out there now is because of the starts they've had, second quarter, second half, and overtime will score more than the first half.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
In truth, I have never done the numbers, and maybe Ralph has, but I think if you just went down and bet unders on every prop, you would probably be a winner.
Well, there's too many. Let me just jump in and say one thing.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what. A lot of sharps do this. They'll take every player and they'll bet no TD. Why? Vegas keeps adding more and more players. They have 10 or 12 players with a yes or a no.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world more than 4 are going to score. If you bet no on every player prop across the board, you are going to win money. Now, a lot of people don't want to play 12 no's because, Kelsey's going to score and Tyreek's going to. But you know what? If Tyreek and Kelsey split and one scores and one doesn't, or one scores 3 touchdowns and one scores none, it's a huge boost to you. And all those other players that Vegas just thinks, if we get money on them and you bet the no, it's very positive EV. Sorry, Tony.
No, absolutely not. I like that. I like that. This is, we were saying off air before we came on. What do we do on an early Super Bowl preview? Well, that's a pretty good intro into it, and I would say that at this point in time, I go through a season. When I get to this point, even before the championships are decided, I have a pretty good idea who I'm going to like. Who doesn't really matter who wins. But Ralph's correct. The one thing that the Chiefs have done, and I think it's been intentional in many ways, and that was that Spags for Kansas City, the new DC, really experimented early on. You know, they struggled against the run. He did some things. What he's done now is he's almost gone to a cartoon, almost to a game, like a Game Boy type or a Madden type of defense where he's just attacked these gaps with all his bigs to stop this run. And they did a pretty darn good job. against Henry. Henry was pretty humbled, actually, after the game.
Elite defensive game plan.
And before these championship games, I was talking to Teddy, and I said, in truth, he asked me who I liked. I told him who I liked. He said, everybody likes that. San Francisco they have the Super Bowl caliber defense. They're the team that has that defense because of the improvements they made in the offseason.
So do they have the defense that can stop Mahomes? That's
Well,
what I want to know.
What I was going to say was, but I don't think you're going to. Andy Reid is the best play caller. And there's a lot of guys who call pretty good plays.
Shanahan's pretty good, dude.
Yes,
You're going to call out. You're going to give the edge to Reid.
But Andy Reid is the best play caller. In
right.
fact, this is
Powerful statement.
Does this remind you at all? And I hate to say it, but who does Mahomes and this team, if you look back at Super Bowl winners, who does it remind you of? One.
You're going to say Joe Montana?
No,
you're
Dick Vermeil and Kurt Warner and the greatest show on turf.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Mahomes is much better.
Well,
than that,
I do.
yes,
and he's much more mobile and he's younger.
Right.
But in truth, they had speed. Vic Vermeil has a team that's very similar, and they had the fastest players in the NFL at that time.
Now, quick question, because I just see this on my Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone is on the over, and I think last time I checked it was 54.5. How do we feel about the total here? Is this like an overreaction, or do you guys like the over?
I had a 5% on KC 2 weeks ago. I had an over. I had a 5% on KC last week.
Yeah.
And my thought is this. I think KC can get to 30.
I totally agree.
So, that's my thought. And so, again, that has me probably leaning KC in the over. But I'm just talking about these, again, if this game were in a normal week, it wouldn't even be anywhere near my card. You like the under? Well, that's why we're here.
Here's the thing. I've gone through some props, and I've done my prep work, did my due diligence, and like I said, most of that's already done. My question is, since as long as D Ford and Bosa are on the field, I think. And is Alexander, is he done? Did he get hurt again bad enough where he's not going to play?
I don't think they listed him as definite yet. So
because when Alexander and Ford came back, you saw the difference. And I would play the under 55. I saw 55 this morning. I would, and I'm probably going to lose the sales, but if I'm on the total in this game, I'm going to be on the under.
Okay, great.
Interesting. All right, thank you guys. $2 Tuesday every Tuesday. Get the hottest handicapper's best bet for just $2 at both WagerTalk.com and our sister site, SportsMemo.com.